So good afternoon, grade 11. This is your practical research 1 subject, which is on a qualitative type of research. The course description of practical research 1 is qualitative research or research in daily life, but it's more on qualitative research. There are two main kinds of researches actually. You have qualitative research and quantitative research. A combination of both is what we refer to as the mixed methods type of research. PR1 is qualitative, PR2 is quantitative. For now, the goal of this subject, honestly, the goal of this subject was to let you create a chapter 1. The goal of PR2 was for you to create another chapter 1. Just a chapter 1. Initially, that's the goal of the subject. Because by the time you proceed to the third research project in the senior high school curriculum, you get to decide. The third research project in the senior high school curriculum is the one that I'm having with the grade 12 students. The subject is research project. By the time, yes, sir. By the time you will have proceeded to taking research project, you get to decide there which between your two chapter 1 outputs you are going to bring for chapters 2 and 3. That was the initial thrust of PRs 1 and 2, to arrive at options of researches that can be brought for chapters 2 and 3 by the time you proceed to grade 12. We have a guest in our vlog. Hi,
This
guys.
is grade 12?
Grade 11, sir.
Oh, I thought grade 12.
It's a grade
I was
11.
looking for them. Where are they?
The
Grade 12.
so there. Again, let me reiterate it. That was the initial thrust. That was the initial plan. But now, Hi, I'm back. I left. I wasn't able to. I could not pause it anymore because yeah, there was something very important that Sergio had to tell me. Okay, let me continue. For now, we are going to still do research, but not just for chapter one. We will try that your research paper will not end with just a chapter one. The only problem, or perhaps the main problem, the bigger problem in this picture is that you can't do a kind of research that the previous batches did here in IA. What do I mean by this? You can the distribution of questionnaires is not going to be at your easy disposal because you can't just simply get out of your homes to go to another student's house to distribute a questionnaire. Even if perhaps, sir, there's that option of making our questionnaires online, submitting them online, sending them online to students, I'm not sure if they'll still have the time to respond to your questionnaire honestly and sincerely because they have been preoccupied with a lot of things to answer and work out for a day. Again, it's a different case if the school year were normal because you could have the chances to approach them, give them personally the papers for them to answer, and the like. It's just that things aren't working that way this time. But that doesn't mean that you can't do a research. Besides, this subject is a qualitative type of research, which follows that you need not rely on numeric data to answer your research question. I don't know with the new students, but I'd like to start with the students who weren't here last school year. How was your experience of research, or what's your background with research? I'd like to start with Angel. Have you tried doing a research before,
Not yet, sir.
or have you seen people do it like, and then they went for an oral defense?
Not yet,
Uh,
sir.
what about answering a questionnaire? Have you experienced that?
Um, I think so, sir.
Okay, that's good. That's actually enough of an experience. That's a good experience. In the case of Sean,
In Bolhai, sir, in grade 10, they didn't give us any research. But before I transferred to Bolhai in HNU for 2 months, we did research.
in HNU, so
And
you're from HNU
yes, I came originally from HNU, sir.
for 3 years in high school or since
For
elementary?
almost
Again, sorry. Hello. Hello.
only one chapter, only chapter one, sir.
Again, sorry. May I just know, for how many years were you in HNU?
Since grade 7, sir, grade
Till
8,
grade 9.
9, then only 2 months in grade 10 in
And
HNU.
then transferred to Bohol High. Your grade
Yes.
9 class advisor was?
Grade 9 advisor is
Hello.
she's a new teacher in HNU.
Again, sorry, the name is Ma'am.
Ma'am Cornell. Ma'am Cornell, Villa Cornell.
Ma'am Belia Cornell.
Yes.
Ma'am
Yes,
Del
sir.
Yeah, and she entered in 2017. We entered in the same year. And then what about Queenie? What's your thank you, Sean. What about Queenie?
I had experience, sir,
And
but because of the pandemic, we stopped until chapter two, I think, two or three.
oh, okay. But it was not really completely finished.
Yes, sir.
If if only this pandemic weren't here, you could have had the chance of finishing it.
Yes, sir. And we could have done the oral
Oral
defense.
defense. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What about Rodney? In the case of Rodney,
Hi, sir.
hello.
Oh, in my case, we have done the research when I was grade 10,
Mm-mm.
and we only come up with the oral defense only because the the pandemic strikes na.
The pandemic was here, and so it's also the one that hampered you from proceeding with that schedule of an oral defense. In the case of, thank you, Rodney. In the case of Christopher,
Sir, in my case, we have already done a research paper. We did not have an oral defense.
okay, but were you able to have a complete set of chapters to work on?
As far as I remember, I think we completed it.
Oh, it's just that the oral defense didn't take place.
Yes, sir.
Okay. For those who were in IA for the many years that they've been in high school, for the 4 years that they've been in high school, recall, try to recall. Wait, when you were in grade 7 to 10, you didn't have any research class. But have you been part of a research done by a class?
Yes, sir.
You've been
We have
turned into
the guinea pigs. I mean the
yeah,
the ones who
you were the guinea pigs. They made you answer the questionnaire.
yeah.
So it's safe to say that almost all of you, if not more than majority, had an experience with research, either as the researchers themselves or the ones who answered the questionnaires, as termed by James, guinea pigs.
Oh
The
no,
thing is,
recording.
yeah, recording. It's everything's recorded here, James. The session is recording up until now. The thing is, I don't know if this is true to all of the researches that you've experienced with. You probably used a questionnaire. Did you use a questionnaire? Queenie, Rodney, was there a questionnaire that you used?
Yes, we use a questionnaire.
In the case of Christopher, was there also a questionnaire that you used?
Yes, sir.
For Sean, when you had it, wait, was there, I kind of forgot your answer already, sorry. Research in Bohol, have you
Uh,
experienced it there?
I don't think I remember any questionnaires, sir. Our teacher just presented what are the parts of the thesis,
Ah,
then
okay.
right away for chapter 1.
Did you go with chapter 2? Have you had your chance to do chapter 2?
After I left HNU, I texted my friends if they finished their thesis. They only finished chapter 1 because,
Ah,
again, because of the pandemic.
because of the pandemic. Okay. Generally, much of the experiences for research are correlated with the presence of a questionnaire. Perhaps that questionnaire was even used in a survey. That's how people commonly use the questionnaire, for a survey. However, in PR1, in doing a qualitative research, you need not rely on a research instrument such as a questionnaire to be able to finish your research paper. That's the beauty with this subject. You can create a complete research paper even if you don't have a questionnaire to prepare or distribute. Qualitative researches qualitative researches are not dependent on numeric data. Numeric data, these are the ones that we get when we tabulate answers. When we list down the number of times people have chosen a particular response. That's a tabulation. Qualitative researches, again, do not rely on that. However, qualitative researches may make use of thematic responses, meaning that when you ask people how they feel towards a particular variable, you are going to qualify the responses as perhaps a response of happiness, a response of sadness, a response of satisfaction. You are going to focus on the categories or themes of responses that you can arrive at given a narrative as the response of a respondent. We may not be that familiar with how qualitative researches work because not so many qualitative researches have been done in Bohol. So many researches in Bohol are quantitative in nature. The provincial library is a proof to that. If you look at it's just again, we really do not have the luxury to visit these places these days. If only you could visit the provincial library, so many of the researches there are quantitative. But the trend of today's researches are qualitative. In the research conference that I attended in 2019 in Palawan, our speaker there has actually encouraged us to do more qualitative researches because the world has just been flooded with so many quantity types of researches already. So many have studied on academic performance, so many have studied on the effect of this particular medicine, so many have studied on the effect of this particular bacteria. These are quantitative. The world now would develop the concept of doing qualitative researches. Let me give you a sample of a qualitative research. For instance, you want to know how your parents, how parents feel when students get good scores in exams. So what you'll do is, you'll probably maximize 3 to 5 people, but you will not distribute questionnaires to them. Instead, you'll interview them. For instance, let's assume that from this class, the parents are Sean, Edson, James, Christopher, and Lucia. So I am the researcher, and then I'd ask Sean, sir, since he's the father, sir, how would you feel, sir, if your child gets a score of 80 over 80 in mathematics? So Sean, what could be your possible answer there?
Again, sir?
Let's assume, Sean, that you're the parent. Let's assume that you're the parent, and I'm the researcher. So I'm the researcher approaching you, doing this call, asking you this question. Sir, how would you feel if your son gets a score of 80 over 80 in a mathematics exam?
I would be very glad and would congratulate him, of course. Obviously, as a parent, you will be happy.
So what I'll do as the researcher is, I'll take the words of Sean. I will not omit any of those words. I'll take all of those words. And then later on, compare these words with the answer of Edson. So now I'd like to throw in the answer at the question to Edson. Sir, son, don't forget, you're the parent. I'm the researcher. So you're the parent, you're a father. I'll ask you, sir, how would you feel if your son gets a score of 80 over 80 in a mathematics exam? Just imagine that you already have a son. You don't have to feel that it's so much of a burden to answer.
I would be happy and give him something to motivate him or her more to study and to get those.
Okay.
Score.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Mostly.
sir. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, sir. So what I'll do is, right, now, what's the common idea behind the answer of Edson and Sean? What common idea can you get from the answer of Sean and Edson?
They would be proud.
Um, Anybody from you? What's the common idea behind the answers of these two parents?
They would be proud.
They didn't say that. Not one of them said proud.
Yes, but never mind.
Wait, look at the danger there. Look at the danger of the answer of James. Let's go back. Anyway, I'll listen to the recording later on. Did Sean, I'll confirm this from you. Did you say that you'll be proud?
No, sir.
Edson, did you say that you'll be proud?
No, sir.
See, James gave a wrong theme for the answers given by Sean and Edson. That's a danger. What James, I get the point of James that any parent would be proud for a child to get a perfect score in a math exam. But the problem here is, did that come out from the answer of the two parents? Did it come out from the answer of the two parents? It did not. So what's the common theme so far of these two parents' answers? What's the common theme?
I'll try,
Vince?
sir.
Go share, go
Glad
share.
or happy.
I think the common theme is that both of the answers are positive, are in a positive way.
Again, sorry. Something's happening with the
I think the common theme is that both of the answers are positive.
positive. Perhaps that one share is too broad of a theme. But it's already there. It's already there. It's just too broad of a theme. It's better if you could, in fact, you can use a word that each of these two used, or yeah, sorry, you can use a word that one of them used because that word is synonymous to what the other parent gave as an answer. What again is now the common theme of the answers of Sean and Edson? Anyone?
Happy?
Again?
Happy?
Happiness.
Happiness. Diba? What was the answer of
Both.
Edson? He'd be happy. What was the answer of Sean? I'd be glad. Happy, glad. Both are synonymous. And so the category is parents will be happy. That's one category. That's one theme. Did we have to identify, did we have to say 2 out of 5 parents said that they are happy of the achievement of the child? No. The moment you put something that goes like that, 2 out of 5, that now comes out as a quantitative type of research. What makes it a qualitative type of research is when you simply declare the theme behind the answers. Like, fathers express happiness. Mothers express, like for instance, if those were the answers of the fathers. If I ask the women, perhaps, like, sure, if you're, assume that you're the mother, sure, mother, how would you feel if your child gets a score of 80 over 80 in a math exam?
I will be glad, sir, and yeah, just like give him or her something that can motivate and congratulate.
Okay, thank you. Now see, assuming that that answer of Sher is similar to the answer of Queenie and similar to the answer of Lucia, so you can then arrive at a statement that says, fathers expressed happiness in an achievement of a perfect score for a math exam coming from a child. Mothers feel the same way. And then when readers ask, wait, how could this researcher arrive at this statement? You have the narrative of the answer. Earlier, while I was interviewing Sean and Edson, I was doing this gesture. because by the time that interview was conducted, I was actually writing down verbatimly, not missing out a word from the answer given by the two parents. Why must I do it that way? Because their answers, even if they answer in the vernacular or in English, will serve as the transcripts which should be attached in that research paper. So that when readers ask, where did this idea come from? How did this researcher arrive at these findings? Then the attachments would prove, okay, the fathers really confessed that they feel so much happiness, that they feel so glad. And see, did we have to rely on a questionnaire to arrive at that answer? No. That's the thing with qualitative researches. You will not have to work on this with the use of with a burden of making a questionnaire. Perhaps though, another concern is running in your heads. A concern that I shared to Sher, Lucia, and Edson. Wait, can everybody still hear me? Can I still be heard? Okay. Edson, Lucia, and Sher, can you recall one of the things that we talked about in that informal Zoom session that we had? Hello?
It's still about the research, sir. But I forgot.
Is it about
I'm
the...
trying to remember. It's still about the research, sir, but I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember
there was a
the.
question that there was a concern that I shared to you openly. I even gave you the chance to choose. Remember that part? To those who were not around on that informal Zoom
But yeah,
session, I
if
asked these
if
three
it's us who
if
will pick,
it's goes on.
if it's you who will pick for the groupings, or if it's us who will pick the groupings.
Okay. I actually pointed it out to Edson, Cher, and Lucia of whether grouping you according to your choice or letting myself decide the groups for you. But now that I realize that there are just 17 of you students in this grade 11 class, it won't be much of a harm if you actually work on research individually. Any reaction? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
I'm okay na
Hello?
po, sir.
Is it all right? Can I
But
be
it
heard
would be
now?
this. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to doing an individual research?
It's kind of
It's challenging.
Challenge.
The
challenging, yeah.
challenge. Okay, what else? Please
And
tell me. I just might really be moved. Yeah, I just might really be moved to let you do an individual research.
Um,
What else? What? I'm open to your reactions. Go.
sir, that might be difficult because our research is normally structured with multiple sets of people, sir.
And life has always been difficult, James. If only life
No.
were this easy, James, then we could always do things the way we want. But life doesn't always work that way.
Sir, I want individual lang, sir.
Whoa, James wants to do an individual research.
Yes, you said, sir, na life doesn't always give us what we want, sir.
Does everybody share the same sentiment as James Espana?
no,
I beg to disagree.
no.
It's just a joke. Ah.
Does everybody think the same way as James? That he'd now prefer to do
No.
research by himself?
No.
Why not?
Only by himself, sir.
Why not?
We like brainstorming.
Brainstorming. There is what you call, son, as brainstorming by yourself. And that's what you call introspection.
Ah, no, with my classmates.
You can introspect. Or you can brainstorm with your classmates and yet work on your individual researches. I won't stop you from contacting each other while you work on your individual papers. You can. You can even stay in one house. All 17 of you can stay in one house while you each work on your individual papers. That's fine.
But sir, having teammates promotes leadership and teamwork.
Are you saying that if you're on your own, you can't work? That you really need someone as a leader? Can't you be a leader of yourself? Can't you tell yourself what you should do? Hello? Hello?
Ay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Zedric,
yes,
what's
yes.
your reaction to this, Zedric? Zedric.
No, sir.
Again, sorry. Hello?
No,
Hello?
sir.
Okay, go. What's your reaction to this, Zedric?
I
I think
think it's
Zedric
challenging.
likes it. What about the reaction of Sean? How do you find the idea, Sean, of doing an individual research?
It's okay, sir. It's as what everyone said. It's quite challenging, but it's sometimes good to challenge yourself since this is just senior high. What about college? Since it's much harder in college. And
I like what you said there. That part where you said it's nice to challenge yourself.
Touche.
That's the IA way.
I mean,
Let's do that.
What about Angel? What can you say about this?
For me, sir, it's okay.
Two now. There's two.
Two! That counts for two. And I think Queenie would like to say something.
Um, it's quite challenging, sir. I became the leader last school year, and for me it was very hard because my teammates wasn't able to participate or not even helping. So I don't know.
So
I
doing
think
this
I think that's
individually
a
will
yes.
probably be.
I'm not sure, sir.
Since according to Queenie, she had a group last year and it was really hard working in that group. Then perhaps it's now time to work on it individually, right?
Individually.
What about Rodney?
No.
What about Rodney?
For me, sir, is it's quite challenging working on a research by your own, but like what Sean said, there's nothing bad about challenging yourself because yeah, nothing is impossible. You can do it in your own way and everything is possible, man. So
True.
yeah,
That's
we
really
just
true.
need to try and do our best.
See, everything is really possible.
Let's switch sides already. Let's do it.
Huh? Yes, son. Anything, son?
Let's do it individually na lang, sir.
Oh, see, Edson is now requesting that you should do it individually. It's now a
Yes, sir.
request. No,
Yes, sir.
it wasn't a request. It was more of a demand. Sir, let's do it individually.
Always has been.
I think
Yes, sir, we
you
can
can
do it
guide us about,
individually,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes, guys.
there's no reason you can't.
This
And
will
I
work
think
with
you
our
can guide
psychology,
us on that,
guys.
sir, no?
Yes, sir.
See,
Yes,
I
and besides, we can help each other, man, like
true.
brainstorming, like that.
Working on an
And
individual
Thursday will help us
research,
also.
working on an individual research doesn't mean that you just have to be by yourself. What are your classmates? What are we teachers for if you're not going to ask for our assistance? Here are, allow me to present my concerns if you work even with a pair. Even with a pair, I have a concern. To me, a pair will probably be all right. 3 will make it already a crowd. Queenie asked. The question of Zedric in the chat box. And then Queenie had to really clarify. Are you sure? Allow me to present my side of the coin on why I cannot right away let you work in pairs. First, you live in your respective homes, and that it's not perhaps at your easiest comfort to go to someone's house and work on things together. Sir, you might want to tell me then, sir, we can contact each other online. Mind you, experience why I've been through that experience of students contacting each other online, but was counter beneficial for their research work. It ended up with, no, sorry, the internet connection at home wasn't strong. I wasn't able to work on it right away. I wasn't able to do a research right away. Yes, I've heard these things already. Another thing, if I ask you to work in pairs, you'll have to know each other, though you are classmates, but you'll have to know each other's schedules for the rest of the day. What if Sher would contact Sean? Sean, are you free tonight at 7:30? Let's work on our research paper. And then Sean would be, no, I have something more important to attend to. I have something else to work on. Okay, so I can, okay, Sean, so I'll be working on research by myself. Or even if you do delegations of parts, you work on this, I'll work on this part. And when you meet up, where's the part that you made? Hello, sorry, but I wasn't able to make it. Or this is what I just made. And then you realize that, wait, it won't work. I'll have to change it. It's as good as you just working on the research paper by yourself. So you might as well just work on it alone. Yes, it's a challenge. I won't say that it's not. It is a challenge to do research by yourself. But your classmates are right. It doesn't mean that it can't be done. Just because it's a challenge, just because it's difficult, doesn't mean that it can't be done. Doesn't mean that it's impossible. So grade 11, what's your reaction so far? Grade 11? Zedric, is this you? Is this really the Zedric typing a message in the chat box? Is this not a different Zedric? Hello? Grade 11. Josh, you don't have to cry, Josh. It's all right. Josh became emotional. Josh, you don't have to cry. You don't have to be emotional about it, Josh. It's all right. I haven't heard from Christopher yet. What about you, Christopher? How do you find the doing of a research paper individually?
For me, sir, at first I preferred for pair or group, but uh, as what Sean said, it is challenging. But as you described, um, senior high is a preparation for college, so we must learn new things like doing research by yourself.
Thank you so much. So is everybody ready now to do? Has everybody fully embraced now the idea of doing an individual research paper? I, I don't know how to respond to your smiles. Is that a smile of a worried student? Or a smile of a student who's telling me, can we just, you're smiling, but you're kind of also telling me, can we just have a group? Can't you just go have pairs? Can't you just...
I think you're referring to James Espana, sir.
Please. Either way, sir, it's fine because I know if we have a pair, your expectations will also heighten for the quality of the research.
No, James, I don't do it that way, James. James, you're judging me so much.
No. It's not that. No, that's not what I meant. I meant
judging me too much.
This is recorded.
It is.
I will keep quiet.
Actually, I just have to be honest with you. You will not do individual researches.
Oh, see, I was right.
You won't do individual researches. Like what I said, the most number of people that I could tolerate would be a group of 2. So you'll work on research as a pair. But one student is left without a pair. Grade 11. Hello, grade 11.
Just let Cedric work on his own, sir.
Yeah, because Zedric has explicitly stated it in the chat box. I don't know what... Zedric.
Very low.
Hello, Zedric. Zedric? Zedric.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Zedric. Since you've already explicitly stated your idea of doing an individual research in the chat box, you might as well work on it individually, right? Would the others agree to that?
Having one group with 3 people.
Is everything now fine? Can I now be heard, seen by everyone? Queenie has sent a message in the chat box. Individual research. Is this for everybody or just for Zedric?
Ano, sir, I'm asking Zedric if it.
I think Zedric is fine doing an individual research paper. According to his message earlier, there are problems when
Go, Cedric.
There's proof here. There's proof here.
Don't worry, Zedric. Part of the recording is the documented chat. The group chat will be documented as well. It will not be lost. So I have proof that you really expressed the desire to do an individual research paper.
I think Edson also, sir. He wants to do it.
Yeah, I can also
individually.
remember that Edson said earlier, let's just do individual research.
Yeah, she's doing like this.
Sir, I agreed with John.
As for the others,
I did not.
as for the others, I might group you.
I did not say na
I might pair you up with someone else. So in the case of Queenie and Angel, since you both live, your sisters, and you both live in the same house. Hello?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Okay. So
Yes,
since
sir.
Queenie and Angel live in the same house, it would be illogical if I pair you with people outside of the household. The most practical and sensible decision would be to pair you up. I think that's sensible enough that Angel and Queenie will be automatically a pair.
Ano?
You don't want to be paired?
No, sir.
Wait.
No.
Why?
Don't you want to be?
It's better. You can communicate properly.
Well, because you're living in one household.
Why?
Yeah, and if one of you will disagree,
why would you not
it's
want
your
to be
baby.
paired with your own flesh and blood? What is this?
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
You know?
If it were me,
Yeah,
now,
ako na siyang
this is now a home
advantage.
court advantage. I will not have to go somewhere else. I did not open any browser. I can just I don't have to open Facebook. I can just talk with my pair right away. I'm
Yes, and you
surprised.
can work it anytime.
Yeah, that's also one. You both share the same time to work on the paper.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea, sir.
But of course, I also respect your choice. So I'd like to get it from these two first. What about you? What about Angel? Angel,
Yes, sir.
would you prefer to be paired with someone else?
Oh, it's okay, sir.
What about pairing yourself with Queenie?
No.
Okay. I'll pick a pair for for each of you. And then during in the Edmodo class, I'll tell you of the pair ups. As well as the student who'll be doing an individual research paper.
Oh no.
In the
Sir.
person of either Zedric or Edson. I'll try to draw it by lots later on.
I was against.
James Espana, I think, would like to make himself as another option for the individual research.
No. I was so against it. I was so against it, sir.
Become a tribute,
I
James.
was so against it.
But
no, doesn't mean I'm fat.
I'll just have to inform you of the class code for PR1 so that you can all then be able to enter our PR1 class. I'll get your names from there. Here's the class code for PR1.
What is the code, sir?
Wait. Here's the class code.
Even me?
I've sent the class code in
I
the
think
chat
all of
box
that.
now. I have just sent the class code in the chat box now. That's KTMCXG.
Who said it?
Again, it's
Most of us,
KPMCXG.
I'll go in.
So that's the class code for Practical Research 1. Any questions so far?
No.
Again, you'll be
We'll
in
be
pairs.
doing the individual, sir.
You'll be in pairs, and the announcement of that individual researcher's name will be done in Edmodo. I can't imagine how excited Zedric is right now.
And
Sir,
also Edson, sir.
I haven't experienced what you've researched. I need a
Go.
partner who did. It's all right, Zedric. Like what Sean
All
said,
of us.
like what your other classmates said, this is a challenge. But it doesn't mean it can't be done. It is a challenge, but it doesn't mean
Most of the
it's
old students,
impossible.
never tried it.
Go, Zedric. Just believe in yourself, Zedric, and you'd be able to do it.
Nothing is impossible.
Oh, see, nothing is impossible. See, Zedric, can't you feel the support of your classmates? Everyone is supporting you. Everybody is here, a very good support system from everybody else in your class.
Besides, we will be helping you naman.
See, Zedric,
True.
he has now turned off his camera. Again, just keep your... Di pwede na isa, 3 pair. 3 pairs? How can 3 make up a pair? Zedric, enlighten me. How can you call it a pair if there are 3 members in that group? Enlighten me, Zedric. How can that be a pair if there are 3 members? Just keep yourselves posted in the Edmodo page because there we are going to post the final pair ups for your research. If there are no concerns for now, that would be all. Goodbye. RIP.
RIP.
That would be all for now. Do we have questions? Do you have other concerns?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Sean.
We'll be doing only chapter 1, sir, no? In the...
For this semester?
Yes, sir.
You'll be doing chapters 1 and the other chapter. Because a qualitative research has a different format. We'll see. I'll try to double check how many chapters there may be in the page format for your research paper. But our goal is to have a completed research paper at the end of the semester. Does that answer your question, Sean?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Are there other matters to be answered, to be addressed? If there's none, that would be all. Goodbye and thank you.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you.
Bye, Cedric. God bless Cedric.
Bye, Cedric.
I'll now be ending this call.